So obviously I have to put everything on record so when my shit for my shit not to get stolen. I'm gonna work on the video for the song called Titanic that is gonna be in urban music obviously, but it's gonna have deep lyrics. Um it is gonna be playful because it's gonna be talking about like it's gonna be relating to like Jack and Rose when they were playful and they kept getting chased because like I in the boat in the ship because I live something like that and it's gonna be like symbolizing like it's in the Titanic, but I'm obviously gonna change like parts of it to some meaningful battle that I went through. Like, you know how in the ship when it was sinking, everything kept blinking, like obviously it was about to sink, the lights kept turning back on and forth. So I'm gonna use that as a metaphor for like me going back into the memories to realize why did this happen? How could I have lived something special and then got it to go away? And the reason why I think I lived that moment was special with that female was because every time I try to get deep with a different female, it just doesn't happen. And it's not that, you should force yourself for it to happen or, you should wait on something to make it happen. It just doesn't happen. And it doesn't give me the feeling to make it happen. And it's also to do with versals because people exchange languages with action more so than, saying shit. And I don't really care to trust in anyone again because I feel like that would be mistreating my first experience with giving that part of me. Maybe in the future I'll be able not to feel that way, but I've noticed that pattern in me that every time I'm with a female, I could give two shits about making it something. Or, even me not, like, behind the action, I just really don't care with this other woman that the song's gonna be about. Behind the action, I sincerely care. By that, I don't mean by her, I just mean by everything. Because of my experience with her, it opened me to care more so about my surroundings. I was already like that with my friends in high school, like I said, but it helped. She kind of helped me do it more in a mature way, where it made me feel like no, there's things to stand for than just fucking being here, and not her herself, but the experience with her. So I'm having like flashbacks and like trying to get back who I fucking was and who I fucking stood for. And so in the video I'm gonna use that as a symbolism, like the lights turning off and on in the ship when it was already kind of like ready to sink, but not really. Um I'm gonna show like objects appearing in darkness and objects leading me back to her eyes where that's gonna be the main light that showed me things, that revealed things to me. And for that time period, not now, because obviously I'm single, I don't really care for these things anymore. I don't. But they're still in my memory as if a different person existed in me back then. I don't know what that means anymore because I'm trying to find what that means to me now in a different version of myself. But kind of like Chester said, we must be like that. Like Chester from Linkin Park said, he sheds his skin, but he's always the same, which means he stands for the same shit, but in a different version of himself. And that's kind of what I want to do. And I love, his lyrics are so deep to me. And not to mention that I go through suicidal thoughts all, like, that's been a struggle for me since I was a kid. Since I knew what suicidal thoughts were, I wanted to kill myself. Since I was a 5-year-old, I dealt with that. I would have thoughts telling me all the time. And I knew it was bad because I would see the thoughts as a form, as something dark telling me it. And I would resist it. I would be like, no, I shouldn't kill myself. And the thoughts would be like, you're meaningless. Kill yourself, kill yourself. And that's when I was 5-year-old. So I always had these thoughts. And probably because I am transgender and I felt like I could never be a man. I never saw myself forming as a man. And then when I, became a teenager, I became depressed and everything. It was like the worst experience of my life, and that's when I, was more suicidal because I wasn't a man. And even my lesbian partners would make fun of me for it because they would be like, or my lesbian friends, they would be like, but you're a girl, like, why don't you dress more feminine and this and that? And, like, it would really bring me down even more because LGBT should be able to support each other and understand that we're different more so than anybody else because we're called queer for a reason. But when that community hit me when I was younger, it was kind of like, it was worse. But it was like, that's like a different moral thing that I don't want to get into in this video, uh, voice recording video, whatever, slash. But yeah, the Titanic song, the reason why I'm gonna put the metaphor of the video without me even working on it, well, I'm kind of working on it, um, out is because my shit keeps getting stolen. It's not because I'm like glorifying it or anything. I could give two fucks if people know the meaning or care for the meaning. I'm just giving it an identity of where it came from, and YouTube is a good platform to have your shit out and give it a date, give it a time, give it a location, give it a person, give it an identity so it won't get stolen.